So it's another one of those odd nighttime outdoor videos. And obviously by the title of this thing, it's something new, something different. Because earlier tonight I recorded this rant about the new YouTube channel layout, how it's a piece of crap, there's no individuality, there's no personality to it, it's just a giant mess of nothing. But I wanted to be constructive, I want to do something progressive, I don't want to propagate negativity in my videos. I want to do something that's constructive, something that feels good, not something that feels like a pile of shit. So I thought I'd do this kind of filmmaker tutorial type of thing and start off obviously with like pre-production development and just kind of give you a couple pointers here and there. If you're someone who's looking to get into indie filmmaking or just interested in the process or whatnot, I just want to do a couple little kind of short vlogs, as short as possible. Just giving you a couple bullet points here and there about what you should do, how you can start things up, go about things, just find some resources here and there. I mean, obviously the main thing is, if you're an indie filmmaker or you have budget or don't have a budget, find ways to work within your means. Some people say go ahead and write the script however you want to write, then cut it down. I don't think you really should do that. I don't think you should. I mean, there's nothing wrong with creating developing good ideas, but if you're writing a script, try to narrow things down as best you can. When you're writing it, know what you have to work with and write to that. Don't write out a giant action sequence or a car chase when you don't have the means to film that. Don't put that in there, because if you write that into the script, it's going to be a lot harder to write it out later, at least in my case. If you write something that's really good, something that's really, really good, and you really like it, it's going to be harder and harder to separate yourself from that when the time comes to cut things down and pare them down, downsize the script. So you really kind of go into writing the script, maybe a little bit of freedom, but try to write it within the means of what you have. If you don't have a big office complex to shoot in, don't write a scene that's in a big office complex. Just do something that works within your means. It's okay, like I said, it's okay to develop good ideas that you're excited about, but sometimes you gotta kind of have to put things a little further on the back burner. So it's like, well, this is a project I can work on at this point in time, once I get to this point in my level of resources and all that kind of stuff. But work with what you have at the beginning. Don't be as simple as you can. Do something that's workable, that you can get done in a fairly short amount of time, that's not too complicated. Everyone's going to have a dream project, but if you're going to have a dream project, make sure that when you go ahead with the thing, you're at a certain point where you can do it the right way, that you can do it, that you can make it the thing that you dream it to be. So don't jump ahead with those dream projects right ahead. Build up to them. And that's scripting. Scripting takes quite a while. Sometimes you got to do some rewrites here and there. But when you're going into casting, I've been through a lot of casting sites over the years, and quite frankly, the most solid one is Actors Access. Actors Access is where the actors go. I think Breakdown Express is where you go to post the casting calls and everything. So you can jump on there, post your casting breakdowns and everything, and that's going to work out for you really well, because it's a site where only professionals work. You're not going to find a lot of people who, I mean, it's also a thing that, yeah, if you're starting out, it's going to be kind of hard to work with people who have a lot of seasoned things, but that's the thing you've got to do. You got to work with someone that has more experience than you do, so you can learn from them. And sometimes if there's someone that's part of the cohesive whole, willing to collaborate, someone that's in there for the whole project, they'll guide you along a little bit. They'll give you little pointers here and there. Like my lead actor was on Vengeance, John Vuklich. He did a lot of that with me on that project, and it helped me grow and understand my role as a director in handling all different types of scenarios on production. But Actors Access is a really solid place. Like I said, that's where the real professional actors go. It's not all SAG, so you don't have to worry about it too much. But they have a very, very refined system of how they do things. It does work once you get the hang of it, once you acclimate yourself to how they do their process. But it's not complicated. Just it's a certain way of doing things, different than how I prefer doing them. But regardless of that, they have a very good system. Like I said, quality stuff. People have resumes on there. They have their headshots. If you can, I think it's maybe within $30. go pick up my friend Chris Agos' book, Acting in Chicago. You can get it on Amazon. You can get it as a book, or I think you can also get it on an e-reader format. That it is mainly geared towards actors, but the thing is, I find it very invaluable. I read most of his book, the first edition. He's got a second edition out now. That it is very important to understand the actor's side of the business, of the production end of things, how they view things, the process they go through in auditions, in the production of film, all this kind of stuff. It's very important. It will help you out a great deal. I highly recommend the book. Chris is the absolute most professional, sharp-minded actor I have ever worked with. I've worked with a lot of actors who are great actors, great people with the professional mentality and everything, but Chris is just this guy. He's been around the business for about 15 years. This is what he makes his living doing. He's a SAG actor, one of the most prolific actors in Chicago. Pick it up. I mean, obviously, if you don't live in Chicago, it might not be as applicable to what you do, but it'll still give you a good idea of what the actor side of the business is, of the industry is, of production and casting, all this kind of stuff, what they go through, and also help you understand the standards that they have. Like, if you see a black and white headshot, you know that thing's out of date. Right these days, for the last several years, full color headshots are what the industry standards are. So you gotta look at it'll help you understand what the industry standards are, what people are looking for, casting directors and professional productions are looking at, and help you live up to those standards, understand where things are going. And so that's the casting end of it. But crew is a little more difficult. It's always been difficult. I guess you can still try Craigslist. If you don't have a budget, Craigslist is probably where you're going to have to go. I don't know too many places for crew. Mandy.com is a very good place, but they don't post things that are non-pay. You have to have pay for your project. You have to have a budget. So if you do have money to work with and you're going to be paying the crew members, the actors and everything, you can go there for crew and cast. You can go there. It's a great resource, but it's only for professionals with paying jobs and everything. So that's a very good place to go if you have those resources. If not, crew is a lot more difficult. Craigslist is a very sorted place. I haven't gone there in several years just because I just didn't like the quality of what I was seeing there in terms of all the different ads and everything. It just didn't seem like a professional's breeding ground or whatnot. But you can probably still find quality stuff there. I mean, obviously, I don't think I would have met and gotten involved with several people like Eric Woltman if I hadn't gone there, but that was a long time ago. But again, if you got nothing else, go for Craigslist. Just be very thorough on what you're looking for, very thorough in your descriptions, but also don't be too lengthy, but be short to the point and be specific if you're going to post anything there, just so you get as many quality entries. I mean, you're going to get a lot of mixed things in this industry. It goes all across the whole spectrum. You get the absolute utmost professional people, but then you also got a lot of people with a lot of ego problems, arrogance. They got a lot of self-serving ideals and whatnot, and people just don't have the group collaborative mindset for things. They're a little bit more out for themselves, but there's also people that are just consummate professionals and everything in between. So it's something that you just have to get a feel for. There's a lot of stuff that you gotta just go trial by fire for. You gotta get that. You gotta weed yourself through the minefield of this kind of stuff. So it's something I can't really advise you on, but just stay as clear-minded as you can when you're dealing with anyone. Whenever you're working with someone, just be as perceptive as you can. Keep your eyes open, keep your ears clear, and keep your focus good, and you could probably be able to get a feel for who is a right person to work with and who is not. So I mean, stuff like locations, a little difficult. I've never been good with them. The best thing you could possibly get is a producer. That's something that's difficult to find, because a producer is something that's not going to get the big glory. Unless you're like a Jerry Bruckheimer or a Joel Silver type of thing, you're not going to get a lot of glory as a producer. You got to be someone that has a certain passion for it, has a certain skill for the management of production, all that kind of stuff, and just someone that's just gung-ho, is looking to do something more behind the scenes, looking to do all the stuff that tightens up production, gets all the logistics figured out. Someone that's really good with that kind of stuff would be very, very valuable to have. Every little bit of help you can get is very good. And you know, a producer is something that I'd really love to have. It would take off a lot of pressure off of me, but again, it's a difficult thing to find. And it's that's about all I can say about a producer or whatnot. But if you can find someone that's capable of doing that, if you have a friend who's a very solid person that's going to be very loyal, is going to be very dedicated to what you're doing, and they are capable, they have certain people skills, they have certain organizational management skills, and they're passionate about helping out with the film, and like I said, dedication is very important, they may be a good person to look for. Some people with connections that know the area, maybe know a lot of business owners, wherever it is. Sometimes the actors have certain connections that you can use, and they're willing to share with you to help build up locations and contacts and just resources here and there. That's very important. Cameras are not so much important. I think if you have at least a decent camera, decent digital camera, and you got a good idea and you got the right amount of resources, you just go for it. Don't worry about so much the quality camera until later on when you're building things up to a certain point. Just go out and do what the best you can with what you have. That's the main thing. Don't overextend yourself trying to make the big epic film right out the gate. Start small, build yourself up, refine your skills, because as you go along, what you're going to have to realize is that the first film you make, whatever it is likely not going to be the best thing you can possibly make. You gotta, over time, you're going to refine your skills, refine your techniques, learn through experience, build up that experience, and learn a lot to better organize your production, be able to learn new techniques of how to shoot things, pace things, new storytelling techniques. It's going to build up over time, so don't expect to make the best thing possible the first time out. Just make the best of what you can with what you have. Over time, you're going to build up, you're going to get better and better and better, and you're going to grow as a filmmaker. Just keep working at it. The one thing is that obviously I'm a model of this type of thing. Get a little tongue-tied, but you're going to have a lot of rocky roads. You're going to have failures here and there and everywhere. There's going to be a lot of turbulence. Maybe more for some people, less for other people. But there's going to be a lot of potholes in this long road of being a filmmaker. You got to have resilience. If you're dedicated enough, if it's something that you're passionate about, you got to stay on the track. Even if there's productions that fall apart, like I did with the Kill Shot, you got to keep pushing forward. Find the things that excite you, instill you with passion, and just push you forward to new projects, new horizons, new opportunities. And that's basically what I got for you. Development, pre-production type of stuff. I mean, it's all about organization. You definitely got to get yourself organized before you go into production. Get a binder that has the full script, a contact sheet with emails and phone numbers. You can contact anyone at any point in time. Just have things on hand. Program their numbers into your cell phone. Get a shot list. If you got character profiles, you got little bios on the characters. Put them in there. Get your release forms for the acting talent, the extras, the location forms. Get those in the binder. Plenty of copies, and just get everything organized in the binder. That's going to help you immensely. Just the organization is going to be so key. Not just the how easily you can handle things, but also the perception. When other people see that you're this organized, it's going to instill confidence in them that you've got your shit together. And you're going to be going forward with a lot of clear-mindedness, a lot of straightforwardness. It's going to show that you know what you want, you know how to get it, and you got to be confident. I mean, actors are going to ask questions on set. I'll probably get that. I'll get into it when we get into the production phase, but it's a job for an actor that asks you questions about this, that, and the other thing. It's not so much them questioning the quality of what you've written. They're just trying to find the motivation for what their character is doing, what they need to put into their performance. And even in pre-production, they're going to ask these questions, just trying to understand your point of view with the script, where you're coming at with these characters and the story and all this kind of stuff. And got to work. Also, when you're going first out, I would definitely suggest a cinematographer. Getting your own cinematographer to work with, someone that does have more experience than you do. I would definitely suggest that, because on Vengeance, I didn't shoot things as well as I possibly could have. There was a lot of things I was breaking, a lot of rules, because I wasn't experienced. I didn't have these ideas in my head, these techniques in my head. So when I went on the Fixer, I made sure I had a director of photography dedicated to that test and made sure that things were shot the way they should be shot. So I would definitely suggest teaming up with some kind of cinematographer in your first couple of jobs, so you can get a sense of how things should be shot, composed, lit here and there, so that when you go, if you do feel like you want to be a cinematographer and a director and whatever else, definitely when you get to that point where you want to start shooting things yourself, you'll have that nice foundation of knowing how things work. You can apply your own technique and style, but at least you have that foundation of knowing how things should be shot, composed, just how a scene should be blocked out with the actors. It'll really help you out. It'll really help you. Just surround yourself with people that are more experienced than you are and learn from their experience. Allow them to impart their knowledge upon you, so you can build yourself up to a certain point where you can be knowledgeable. Each new project that you go forward with, you'll know more than last time, and it's going to be the most valuable thing you can possibly have, is the experience. So whether you go to a film school or you're self-taught like I am, experience is the best teacher, no doubt, because you don't know how it is to make a film until you've actually made a film. Trust me about this. So that's all I got for this first vlog, and I hope you enjoy this. Post some comments down below. I'd very much appreciate that. You get a couple of links to the stuff that I mentioned in this video in the description below, and just like I say, post some comments, hit a like button, subscribe, just give me some feedback. Let me know how you like these, and for the next one I'll be a bit more in the regular atmosphere. I just felt like going outside and just getting the thing out of the house with the hot lights and all that kind of stuff. Nice cool environment, more relaxed, and just let me know how you think, how you like this filmmaker tutorial vlog series. So that's all I got for you on the pre-production end of things. We'll move into production on the next one, and go on from there. Bye.